Hello there. Today we need this thing and this thing and these things to fix that thing. Welcome to CarSpyTV. Right, today we're with the Nissan Primera P12 doing a temporary repair on the exhaust using this putty. So let's start by jacking the car up, and then we can have a quick look at the exhaust and see what's going on. So the head of the jack is properly positioned, which is always a good start. And up it goes. Shouldn't need to go too high. Okay, we're looking towards the front of the car. That is the front left wheel. And if we follow the exhaust back, we find this thing here. That is the central silencer, and that is the thing with holes in it. Here's a close-up of one of the holes, and as we can see, is big enough to get a screwdriver into, just like that. Now, this white stuff around the hole is a previous repair. That was done by a garage on MOT day, when the mechanic noticed that this area was getting a little bit rusty. Now, I think we both know what should be done. This section of exhaust should be replaced, and it will be. But that can't be done today. Tomorrow I'm going on a road trip with quite a few miles to do, so we need a temporary solution. And here is that temporary solution. It is the Hylomar exhaust repair putty, which cost me the grand total of £4.50. And I chose this one for a very specific reason. It was the only one in the shop. Now, we do, of course, have some instructions written on the back, and I'll zoom in on those like that so you can read them if you feel so inclined, and we will, of course, be following those instructions today. Now, for the purpose of this video, we'll focus on the biggest hole, which is that one there, and step one, according to the instructions, is to clean the area with a wire brush to remove any loose rust and other such nasties. Now, we're not going to get too mad with the wire brush because I don't want to make the hole too much bigger. That would be annoying. So I think that will do. And the next stage, again, according to the instructions, is to moisten the area with some water, which comes courtesy of this squeezy bottle. There we go. We've made a start. So let's open the putty, like so. Doesn't that look appealing? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, the instructions say we should apply the putty with a knife, so I've raided my toolbox and I found this thing here that I normally use for poly filler, but nonetheless, that should do nicely. All right, we now need to force the putty into the hole. Oops, dropped it on the floor. Let's get a bit more. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Into the hole it goes. Well, this doesn't need to be neat and tidy, of course. And the instructions do add that if necessary, we could add a little water to make the putty easier to manipulate. But we don't need to do that today. This is just fine. Right, it's now a few minutes later, and that is the finished result. So as you can see, we have a reasonably thick layer on there without being completely ridiculous about it. And of course, I have filled in the other holes too. So let's get the car back on the ground. And to do that, we first need to remove this chock. And there's another chock over here. Where's he gone? Oh, yeah. And of course, there's an axle stand as well. So need to get rid of that. Yep, crawling around on the floor once again. Always good. Come here, axle stand. Come on, there we go. Gotcha. And now, is that it? I think so. No reason we can't lower the car down. Nice and gently. Just like that. The instructions say we should now start the car, then let the engine idle for a few minutes, and that of course will send some heat down there through the exhaust pipe, and that should help the putty dry out quicker. Sounds like a good plan. Well, the exhaust certainly sounds better than it did before the repair. Before it was quite blowy, obviously so. I tell you what, I'll pop the microphone by the exhaust so you can listen for yourself. There we are. And let's, while we're at it, have a listen down here where those holes were. Doesn't sound too bad. It sounds pretty normal at idle. Now I am tempted just to tickle the throttle very gently to hear how it sounds then. I don't want to put too many revs on though and blast that putty out before it's had time to properly set, but we'll be gentle and have a listen. Well, it doesn't sound perfect, but it does sound a lot better than it did. So there we go. A cheap, quick, easy, temporary repair that solved the problem for today, but this car is definitely going to get a new exhaust imminently. Anyway, that's it, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to CarSpyTV. That makes it easier to find my other content. Can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video, and I'll see you next time, hopefully with a whisper quiet exhaust. Bye bye.